Welcome to Twin Stars Podcast, where cosmic wisdom meets everyday magic.
And we are your hosts. I am Jamie, astrologer, hypnotist, Akashic record reader, and the mystical CEO behind the House of Mage. I help you align with the rhythms of the moon, rewire your inner world, and awaken the part of you that was written in the stars and etched in the records of your soul.
And I'm Josie, astrologer, artist, and chakric pagan. I live at the intersection of soul, ritual, and art. I create custom tarot portraits that combine your sun, moon, and rising sign of you and for you.
We created this podcast to guide you, our fellow Starlings, through astrology, energy, and the unseen forces guiding your life. As we get into this induction, awakening our chakras, this will illuminate our spirits. Together, the Starlings will create a hive no matter when you watch this, and we will create a high vibe on this planet. You are needed now. Josie, dive in.
Close your eyes. Take a slow breath. Let it clear your mind. Feel your third eye light up. You are aligned. You are devoted. You are divine. Now let's begin.
Yes, beginning with illuminated third eye. I just now noticed that you put that poster behind you. That's very third eye.
Yes, I did it.
My God, I love it. It's so perfect for this show. It's like Tibetan eyes, is that correct? Do you know?
Yeah, it's yeah, probably Nepal, yeah. The compassionate eyes of Buddha, and the signature is more illegible, except it says Nepal on the bottom of the signature.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, we're going to have some good clarity for this episode because we are honoring the new moon in Virgo. It is soon to be Virgo season, August 22nd. And then the very next day, on the 23rd, we're going to have a new moon. And this episode is dedicated to her. Virgo season is always a very refined time of year. I really love it so much. That earth element where it's grounded and stable, but it still has that mutable, changeable, adaptable, flexible energy. And it being ruled by Mercury gives it so much intellect and communication and mastery. And one of the things that's most important is the symbol of the maiden. And in honor of the maiden, we are going to be investigating Hestia today. So that'll be exciting when we get there. But what do you like to do like for your Virgo season? Or is there like a trend or like what are your vibes?
Well, I really love Virgo season because I'm kind of like a fangirl for Virgo. I associate it with my sun, moon, rising combo that makes me want and crave organization and refined systems and aesthetics. Plus, I really have a hard time with like daily routine, but I'm very much a person who's devoted to like service. So I feel like Virgo just nails it on like bringing service to a higher level through daily routine and then organizing things in a way that I always strive to do, but kind of have a hard time with sometimes. So Virgo season for me is like a really nice time to like basically hang out with the archetype that I am most starry-eyed about.
That's so cute. I love it.
Yeah.
I really love this time of year because like there's one of my most favorite Virgos. She just always wants to be her best self. She's like always trying to like, just be a better version of herself. And so I want to kind of like bring that in too. Like I'm going to make it an like end of hot girl summer. No, end of summer hot girl style. Like I don't know what the phrase will be, but like I'm going to just be my best self. I am going to dial in that morning routine. I've been like waffling between this or that. I'm going to figure it out. And we are going to get rid of the junk and the things that are in the way. And we are going to get rid of the noise and just like hone in to being like the best that we can be, whatever that is.
Whatever that may be. Well, I like to
Yeah.
think of it as like back to school season.
Yes. Oh my God. Back to school supplies.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Like organization, best version of yourself, best outfit, ready to go.
So Kristen,
Having a
so please.
smoothie before you get out there.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I just prepared. I think that's a huge
Hair.
like key word for Virgo is prepared. Like not only organized, but have put in that work, that thought, and got rid of all the stuff that wasn't fitting. The edit, discernment. I really love the word discernment for Virgo.
Mm, discernment's good. And yeah, preparation and discernment. Absolutely.
So we have decided to incorporate a little bit more with some deities because it's important for us to know all of the cosmic support we have in the universe. So for the Virgo season, we have chosen Hestia. Hestia was one of the Olympians, one of the oldest gods that we're aware of in terms of classical terms. And we're going to just dive into that a little bit.
Yeah. So Hestia, given that I'm basically Virgo is my celebrity crush, that means Hestia is like my role model. Which correlates so well with all of the Virgo themes. Uh, Here's a little devotional to her to start out the concept before we get into talking about her. She was the first light born of sky and stone, the first to be swallowed by fear, and the last to rise. Steady, whole, eternal. While her siblings took up thunder and tide, she chose the hearth, the sacred center, the flame that warms all worlds. Hestia, the still point in the spinning cosmos, the first and the last, the one who stays. So that's like a really nice sort of evocation of her. And when we talk about it, you're going to see why, because she is the goddess of the hearth. And she's basically, she's a sibling of all the big famous gods and goddesses of Greek mythology. She's got Zeus is her brother, Hera is her sister, Demeter's her sister, Poseidon and Hades. Those are her siblings, and they are very big characters in Greek mythology. And she is an actual, like, more reserved, quiet character and a counterpart to all of them, in that she's like not exactly even there's not even a lot of talk about her in any of the drama that goes down with everybody, because she's basically gives up her place in court to go be the guardian of the hearth and the goddess of the home and the goddess of the like eternal flame that burns in the house or in the hearth to keep us alive and like going. And it's like this concept of space in in earth, like a cave, for example, is a good way to kind of describe her realm and her space. And she's there for protection and safety, and she comes down to hit steps out of the realm of the gods to go be with the people, so that she can kind of rule over everyday mundane life and be the flame and the fuel for the fire that keeps us warm and fed. And so that's what she's all about. And that's
Yeah.
really in line with Virgo, right?
Yeah. And I'd like to say just a couple things about her too, really quick. Because, like, in that poem that you read kind of in the beginning, Kronos and Rhea were the Titans. And so, like, the Olympians, they were their children. And Kronos got scared, and so he ate all his kids. So Hestia was the firstborn. She was the first one to get eaten. And then when he regretted the fact or got in trouble for eating his children, she was the last one to be released. So in this, there is kind of like how Zeus or Poseidon or Hades, how they have these realms and they are very loud in terms of different temples that they may have or celebrations. Hestia is very quiet, but like being the firstborn, she doesn't need to like fight for the power. She has it. So instead, every time any person in antiquity would light a fire, which they would have to do to prepare their food or to heat their house, they were invoking Hestia. So she was the first name on their lips and also the last name on their lips. So she had so much devotion every single day, but not to very grandiose things, to the sacred order of every day.
Mm. And of the first and the last concept, it's very much like the birth and the like return to where we've come from. And I think you can like have that that can be an everyday ritual where you leave your home in the morning and you come back to it at night, go to bed. So we can like embody that on a daily basis. But I really like to focus on it during the Virgo season specifically.
Yeah, especially because like Virgo is so devotional, really loves ritual, getting rid of all the excess that isn't necessary, the refinement. Like there is no better editor in the world than a Virgo. And also they just like can see the world and can refine it in a way that like just makes our lives better.
There's this like sudden stillness in Virgo season that Hestia is embodied an embodiment of, and it's her being the flame, but the one that doesn't move. She is the center that does not move. She is that internal spark that never really goes anywhere, never goes out, but just keeps feeding everybody on and on, with a steadiness that's not normal with fire, but it's sort of like the concept of the seed. Like there's a fire within the seed that never goes out. And when it grows, that fire is reborn.
And I think that that really kind of depicts how Virgo is in service,
Mm-hmm.
because doing service work is very, very big for Virgo. So to always be reliable and to be able to tend to things when people might get fatigued, like
Mm-hmm.
Virgo has endurance to do very challenging things and will never falter.
Tend that eternal flame specifically, like, yes, exactly.
As we dive deeper into Virgo, this episode is dedicated to the new moon lunation. And new moons always define a reset. And with Virgo, that means a refinement. So, like, this is a great time to think about, like, what area of your life needs cleansing and clearing, and what routines can you make more magical. One of the huge parts of Virgo is they're often associated with herbalism.
Mm-hmm.
So, bringing a little bit of herbs into your life, like rosemary, sage, lavender, those all seem very Virgo. But like, you don't even necessarily need to look that far to make something devotional and ritualistic. Um, Josie and I were talking about this quite a bit, how whenever you've claimed that you are going to live a magical life, that means that you are kind of like opening the floodgates and you want support of the universe. You want to co create with the universe. And one of the things that can really magnify that energy is by doing rituals. And
Mm-hmm.
when you do a ritual that is in the name of Virgo during Virgo season, there's already wind beneath your sails. And then you have a very Virgo phrase, like, what routines do I need to make more magical? And you're holding that in your third eye as we just did an invocation of the third eye, and you now are bringing some sage or rosemary into it. You burn a little sage. Every little one of those things is a magnet that's going to amplify that magic.
It is.
And really, as we want, that's all we want, is to like be magnetizing ourselves so that we can co-create.
And so the reference to the third eye right now is coming from my interest in the chakra system and incorporating it into my wheel of the year. So for each Sabbath of the year, I associate a chakra with that Sabbath. And chakras are like discs of energy that are in along your spine. They're actually all over your body, but the 7 main ones are all along your spine, and they start at the bottom and run up. And I associate the first one with the winter solstice, and then each one goes in succession as the year seeds. So here we are all the way at we had Lammas, which was August 1st, and that's where I start focusing on third eye energy and the third eye chakra. And that is reflected in the Leo new moon and the Virgo new moon, because I associate that energy with the time between August 1st and September 22nd. And you usually get about 2 new moons in that period. So we're shifting from the concept of like shining your light and the like crown of light that exists around your head and your vision, and letting your vision of what you believe in, or not even what you believe, your imagination, really. That's the Leo energy of the third eye, is letting your imagination shine in the world. And when we switch into Virgo, we go into more of a observation and absorbing information, and using your third eye to learn and catalog and organize and sort of master even.
Yes. And as we move forward in this season with practical magic, I think that activating this chakra is going to be so helpful. One of the things that I do pretty regularly, I clear out my chakras every single day. So I like to imagine universal water coming in and clearing out my crown chakra, moving down into the third eye chakra, clearing it out. So like water, like cleaning the dishes. And with this, to have it come forward so that it's not just your physical eyes that are being cleaned, but then it's your second sight, so you can see the ethereal world maybe a little bit better. And then I like to go all the way down through the chakras. But as we're doing the practical magic of Virgo season, and we are doing little things that are like cleansing our space, or we are envisioning ourselves living our best lives, that we hold that vision with intent from that third eye, that we see it in our mind's eye. And I feel like that's like another magnet point to just like make our rituals so much stronger, because I know that I'm going to be cleaning my house as a Virgo little ritual. And what other rituals do you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, that third eye ritual is perfect to bring us into like the practical magic and all the things we can do to kind of devote ourselves to this concept of sacred order. And there's just like, with sacred order, you're basically just doing the mundane with intention and devotion. And so you can do that third eye one where you're clearing your chakra. I'm definitely going to do that several times this season. But there's so many different options we have, including like, I like to do a house cleaning where I go from top to bottom or bottom to top. And if you want to keep it really simple, you clean out a junk drawer and set intentions while you're doing that. Or you shuck some corn that you're preparing for dinner, and you set some intentions while you do that. The concept of like shedding, clearing, and preparing that can be found in so many daily activities. And there's a perfect prompt for all of it. So I clear space for clarity. I choose sacred rhythm, and you can apply that wordage to any of the rituals. But yeah, shucking corn or like clearing out your garden or cleaning your house. Any of those are like really good. And this is a great season for practical magic in general because of the practicality of Virgo.
Yeah, exactly. The practicality of it. Like one of the things too we can do to honor Hestia, and we're going to include this in the grimoire, is to grab a small candle, some oil, some bread, herbs, some tea, whatever you have to offer, and take a quiet moment. And then as you're preparing your space and you're sitting with intention, you're going to light the candle saying, Hestia, heart of the flame, keeper of the home, enter this space, bless it with peace, be the warmth in my walls and the stillness in my soul. You're again going to then offer her the food or drink or whatever you have, and then you're going to say, the first and last are yours. You'll sit in silence, take 3 breaths or whatever you feel, and then to close with gratitude, say, may this flame remind me of your presence and power, and that home is a holy space. And so it is.
That's awesome.
Well, let's round this out with some sacred oracle cards.
Yes, let's. So of course I have one card is one that I picked at the beginning of the year for the new moon cycle. I pick a card for each new moon at the beginning of the year, and then I delve into it when the time comes. So this one is totally making me happy for the Virgo season. It's the Vulture. And this is from Kim Kranz's Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Get a little closer for you. And it says, this is good. Guardian and Purifier, essential for rebalance, which is, I love the concept of rebalance for the autumn equinox approaching, because the autumn equinox is the second balance of the year. So it's like the rebalance. And it says the vulture is perhaps the most misunderstood creature of all. This intriguing bird balances our ecosystem and prevents the spread of disease. It does the dirty work that no one else wants to do and cleans up our messes. The vulture appears when there's a situation that needs to be purified or brought back into balance. Remember, the vulture is greatly undervalued. What you thought was a mistake or tragedy is a blessing in disguise. I just really love that for Virgo season.
It could not be more perfect, especially like with the purification element. And then also that Vulture has a job that is so sacred and required, but no one else can do it. And it just does it so naturally. I feel like that's very Virgo vibe too.
Yes. So that was the card that I picked beforehand. And I really love that. Like, I didn't know that it was going to line up with the fact that we picked Hestia, because I didn't even read about the Vulture when I picked the card back in January. So it was like a surprise to me to find out that it was like perfect for Virgo. And then that concept of Hestia being like the humble provider of very like key services.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So the other thing we'll do is we'll pick a card that we haven't seen yet from another Kim Kranz deck called The Wild Unknown Alchemy. And this one's really fun because it gives me the Hestia vibe of this like container where you like pull it out of here and it's like it's a hearth in and of itself. So I like this. Even though we're using this deck all year for our new moon pull, I just like that it fits what's going on right now a lot. Aw. Autumn is the card, which couldn't really be more appropriate. I love that so much. I haven't read all of the Kim Cran's, or I haven't read all of the Alchemy deck yet. So I haven't seen this one, which is fun for me because I love learning as I go with a deck that I'm not super familiar with. I've had this one for a couple of years, but I use it for like once a month thing. So I've only probably seen about 25 of the cards so far.
Very cool.
And then autumn 19 is going to be, let's read what she has to say since I haven't looked at it yet. The culmination, the broad view, generosity. In Earth's grand narrative, it is the symbol of culmination, harvesting, and resolution. The story of our year finds closure, and we begin to look toward the horizons of the next one. It is likely this card will appear as an indicator of efforts culminating, of hard work paying off, of fruit hanging low for the taking. Gratitude and generosity are the spirit of the season, so share the wealth of your fortune. Looking back, you realize many hands and hearts have helped you along the way. Holding tight to your bounty won't do you any good. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world as part of the ongoing cycle. Be like an autumnal tree, come to fruition, and then release.
Oh, we're so abundant.
Abundant. And so on point.
100%. And I love that like idea too of the shutting the leaves, getting rid of what's no longer serving you. Like we did the thing. Now we're new. We're
ready to
new.
let it go. Move on to the next thing and bring with us what the harvest has provided.
Yeah. So cool.
Yeah. Thank you for walking the path of sacred refinement with us today. If something softened, stirred, or came into focus for you,
share the magic, leave a review, and follow the show. And don't forget to share our celestial circle with others.
You can find me at Basic Witch on Instagram, where art, ritual, and witchcraft meet soul expression.
And I'm at House of Mage, where the moon is our mentor and magic is our method.
Until next time, Starlings.
Clear the clutter, create a ritual, and walk with devotion. Bye.
Bye.